Look who it is. I finally made it to Bubba Land. We're hanging out. They're doing some remodeling. They're fully stocked, though. We're coming off Thanksgiving. We're doing a little sunshine state, a little Florida. We bet on hundreds of games this weekend, so we're going to talk about all of our gambling.
Hey.
That's up to you. I mean,
he's like one of our family.
I know. I want to get a little video of him.
Yeah, let's get a little video, but
it doesn't have to be the whole time.
Yeah, because I want to show Scotty. He's like going nuts on shadow boxing. He's shaking it up. Turn the lights down real fast so we can show Scotty how we usually have.
Say hello.
And then John, turn.
Say hello.
This is how it usually is right here. This is how it is. This is how our show is usually right here without the cameras.
It's plush.
You like this, huh?
Top shelf.
Howard said it was a lot like Wayne's World.
It reminds me, honestly, I was saying before I had this studio, I don't know if people remember, I used to shoot this MTV when I was, when TRL originally started. I would shoot it from inside this warehouse near the beach in Huntington Beach, right on the water, right along the PCH. And I rented this warehouse, and then I soundproofed it, and then I put in like half of the studio was like a locker room and a bar, and had all kinds of taps and surfboards and skateboards and basketball rooms and stuff. And then the other half, we had a fake surfboard that was lifted in the air that I could stand on that was held up by concrete. And then behind it we had Ferrall copping 40-foot waves. But I wasn't that cool to be in the water. I couldn't surf. I suck.
So when you pull in here, you think you're like going to like a
I filmed it.
Dentist office.
It's like Batman cave. It's just a beautiful thing because I was driving and we did a little documentary, and I'm like, I'm finally in Bubba Land. I'm finally where I said I would go one day. I'm gonna come down there and bash with you guys and party. And so we filmed the whole thing. We drove over from the East Coast near Daytona, and not where Thunder lives. And we drove over today, and we're here. And this place rocks. It's pretty cool. I like the back. I like the what do you call it back there?
Modular City.
Modular City.
That's our empire, our merchandising empire.
And it is an empire. It's a beautiful thing. And then I saw the dunk tank, and I filmed that. I got Thunder sitting up
Scotty
there.
Ferrall would be the best catcaller.
Oh, and the dunk tank. Oh, you get people so off their game.
He would be a millionaire just based on fucking with people.
They made me do it at the Thrashers. They had this thing called Thrasherville. And I would sit in the dunk tank, and all these season ticket holders and their kids would violently throw softballs.
Give us some of your spiel. Give us some of your spiel.
Yeah, let's say I rolled up there, right? Looking like I do. I got the plaid pants on. I got I'm kicking it right here, okay? Let's say I roll up on it. Look at this guy.
You look like Burberry today.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so you're high and dry. Go ahead. You're kind of cat calling, Carney style.
Like is your
like he's walking up and throw at you at the dunk tank.
Yeah.
And you're cat calling him.
What are you gonna bust me on?
God, Spice, you got nothing. You're soft. You might as well throw a slur ball. You're not gonna hit it. You got little to offer. You're weak and pathetic. You got no double cul-de-sac rim job, you homo bitch. Go ahead and take your best shot, you femme. Holy shit, how wide was that? Jesus Christ.
This is the way my dad used to talk to me as a kid.
Oh my God, look at it. What are you, a sissy? Bring it or don't bring it at all. Jesus.
Scotty Ferrall's got to have his little music behind him too, so I mean they're going to be like...
has nothing, he's throwing limited offerings. He's like Tommy John throwing the ball.
He's throwing limiting offerings.
What are you, Rod Scurry back in the day with that soft cheddar? You got no leverage. You're not bringing any bullets. That isn't high heat. What are you, fucking Bob Gibson, bitch?
God.
So last night I did this, I don't know what you want to call it. It was like a tape. It was like an audition tape and you know what they gave me? They gave me footage of Fear Factor. It was like they were climbing in, mud rivers, and there was eels, and they dropped some bitch in a vat of and there were like snakes, and then they put her in a tunnel, and there were alligators, and I had to do play-by-play of it, and then they dropped all the sound of Joe. And I guess it's some violent new show where people, they do some crazy shit for 50 or 60 grand, something like that. It's some enormous amount of money. And I was doing it last night. I did it violently at his house. I did the play-by-play of this video, and so they dropped all the sound, and I pulled, the same bit I did. I just went 100 miles an hour, and then I sent it to him.
Give us a little rendition of where it goes.
How'd that go?
Tell us how it goes.
Look at his deer going into the bows, trying to get the skull away from the alligator. It may be a crop. If it twists around, it's going to snap her in two for blood. It's going to be a beautiful thing. I can't wait to see the carnage. Oh, look at her with a power move back over to the river with her lovely boyfriend. He used to sing on American Idol. Look at him now. There's a crowd at the side of the river cheering. There's that guy from Survivor. Lied about his grandma, you whore. Time for the big finish on the 3 spikes. Boom, boom, boom. Game over. Celebration time. Done. They're popping corks. Ooh.
Do you know what's going on with Lute Olson? Now we got a report today that he was at practice on Monday, but nobody can figure out what the fuck's all wrong with him and his personal deal.
Yeah, what do you think it is?
Digger Phelps was on the show, and Tim Brando one night, and it was just amazing.
Do they know any?
Well, they do the basketball and football,
right.
And then Digger does it for ESPN, and neither one of them knew anything about it. No.
That's surprising for Digger.
If you were to speculate, you being a great sports guy,
you're a great sports guy.
What would you
I don't know
speculate?
anything. If I were to guess, I remember when he lost his wife, and it was like
cancer, right?
Yeah, it was like almost the end of her, and of him. And just. But he's a great coach. I know that, and he's had great players come through there, and they've all gone pro. A lot of them. I watched him play a game the other night.
Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas, and they played him pretty tough. I don't know what the end result of that game was.
I'm not sure either. I think Kansas won.
But they were getting 19, and I think we had action on that one. I think we covered the 19. Yeah, they were in it. I think it was like tied at the half at 40. I could be wrong.
It seems like you got action on a lot of games. How much money do you win to lose?
Let's just tell you about this weekend. All right, for instance, we had. I came down Friday, so. There were a lot of games Friday.
Right.
So we were able to manipulate Friday into not only a travel day, but a gambling day. And
Congratulations on that.
We got about 5 games in. On Thanksgiving Day, I hit the trifecta, and I did it on TV, which is even better when you document it with video. Because I go up against all these like pit bull sports writers, and I fight and argue with them. And so I was arguing with this guy that's really famous in New York. He does radio on the Fan, and he picked every game the opposite of what I picked. And I almost did it to fuck with him, but the next thing I knew, on Turkey Day, I was hitting every game. Then I hit USC over Arizona State. Then I showed up at Thunder's house, and I've never seen, he's got it'd be a disease for most people. They would look at it like, he bet on, I need to tell you, more prop bets than, I thought I was in Vegas in his house, just watching him on the site, taking action. He took so much action. Like, what were some of the bets last night? He bet on Ricky Williams being over his first carry, being over 3.5 yards.
Which it was, yeah.
4.5 and a first down.
Yeah, how much you make on that, Thunder?
We bet $100 on the Ricky. We won that, and then we bet $1,000 on the Dolphins first half plus 9.5. That was easy.
I'm doing free pitcher bets.
Now listen, it gets better. Listen to this.
That was $1,000.
It gets better. Listen.
Plus 9.5.
We're just starting. How about sacks? We bet another nickel on five sacks. It was over 4.5. We needed 5. There were 9.
What was your total outlay last time?
This is just.
Well, tell them where the account is.
On Sunday and Saturday.
Tell me how much.
Well, wait a minute. When Scotty came down on Friday, the account was at $15,000, and now we're at $22,500. So we're up $7,500, and he's only been here 3 days.
And I need this job.
She said to me, "Is this what you want to do on your vacation? Is just lay around and watch football and drink all day?"
You're making money.
And I go, all I do is work. Just let me watch the games. And I'm just sitting there, and the whole time we're just counting money with our tongues.
Right.
And I got to
scream at the TV.
He goes to bed at like 11. Normally he's got to work and such. Even on weekends, we got a bunch of kids now, so everybody goes to bed. Not Ferrall. Ferrall stays up until all games are done, including Hawaiian games, Australian rules. Tell him, did we bet, how many Premier Soccer games did we bet on Saturday? 5.
Yeah, we bet Premier League soccer this weekend.
I bet on fucking toothless Britain.
No, we did not win on the Premier League.
You're betting against Derby County. You're betting against Derby County, right?
No.
We bet on every single NBA game. We hit the Nets over the Lakers the other night. They won by a bucket. He was in bed. I'm down in his big-ass palatial, running around in my shorts, no shirt on. I've ripped off like 20 snappers, and I'm sitting there, and I'm running around his office counting money.